We'll go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. My name is Eve, and I'm an enrollment counselor here at Purdue University. You may have heard from me via email, text message, or phone call, or even made an appointment with me. If you haven't done so, I do invite you to take a picture of this screenshot here and know that I am here to answer any questions that you might have about the program, the application process, or what happens after submitting your application. Today, we will be going over a few different things to help explain the online Master of Science in Microelectronics and Semiconductors here at Purdue University. We will go over the program by talking about online student resources, covering the curriculum, going into detail about admission requirements, and finally finishing off with our next steps. So the online Master of Science in Biomedical Engineering is a really exciting one currently. There are a lot of initiatives currently going on in the world of engineering where microelectronics and semiconductors are essentially everywhere. They are the backbone of modern digital designs, and for that reason, engineers within this realm are in high demand. Here with Purdue University's online Masters of Science in Microelectronics and Semiconductors, you have the opportunity to pursue a rigorous curriculum with that added flexibility so that you do not have to sacrifice any other outside responsibilities that you have. So you truly are able to balance this flexible curriculum with other outside responsibilities. Now let's talk about the format of the program specifically. This program is going to be taught 100% online, 100% asynchronously. So there is not a requirement to ever come to campus, to ever go to a physical lab, or to ever go to a proctoring site for an exam or test. All of your assignments and quizzes and projects and anything that will require a grade from your course is going to be done through Brightspace. Brightspace is the platform that we use to provide all educational material. It's very similar to Canvas or Blackboard if you have ever used that before. Now, these courses that are taught are going to be the same courses that are taught through our residential program, and they are also taught by the same professors that teach these courses residentially. So you are learning from actual professors from our West Lafayette location. You're not learning from adjunct professors. You're not learning from teaching assistants. You're learning from actual professors that do teach this program in these courses in person. For that reason, when you graduate, your diploma will not mention that the program was pursued online. Your diploma will be identical to that of a residential student's because essentially it's the same program, just different delivery modality. Now on your diploma, depending on the bachelor's that you have, you will be earning an MS or an MSc. If you do not have an engineering bachelor's, you would be earning an MS, whereas someone that does have an engineering bachelor's would be earning an MSc. Now you are welcome to participate in the in-person graduation. However, if you are not able to come to campus, we will be mailing you your diploma. Now, this program is going to be ideal for our working professionals. It's going to be ideal for our working professionals because there is a large flexible component to the program, with it being asynchronous and fully online. You are able to pursue the program while still fulfilling those other responsibilities, as I mentioned earlier. As I mentioned previously, all of your exams will be proctored online. If it is a closed book exam, pretty self-explanatory. If it's an open book exam, pretty self-explanatory. But if it's a closed book exam, you may be taking it through a website that we provide for you, and that website monitors to make sure that you're not plagiarizing by opening a new tab, picking up any noise in the background, or other things that can lead to you plagiarizing. Now, the program itself is going to be 30 credits from start to finish. We will talk about that curriculum, but before doing so, we are going to spend some time talking about the dedicated support staff that will be supporting you through this curriculum. Now, I do see some questions coming in. We will be answering those questions at the end of this presentation. So thank you for sending those in. Definitely keep sending those questions in so we can get those answered. Student services team. Your student services team is going to be the team responsible for supporting you through your time here with us at Purdue University. And your student services team is going to be composed of your academic advisor as well as your student success coach. Your academic advisor is going to be here to ultimately empower you to realize your maximum educational potential. That means supporting you with helping you create your plan of study. Your plan of study is essentially a roadmap for what classes you will take, when you will take them, how to balance challenging courses with those that might be traditionally a little bit more easier to take. They will guide you with the order in which you should be taking these courses. They will help you review program expectations. If your grades are ever impacted, they will let you know how that will impact your GPA and what next steps to take. Now, your success coach has a very similar function in that they are here to also enhance your time with us. But more so, they are going to help you with connecting with other students that are part of this program or part of the larger College of Engineering. They will also help you connect with alumni, connect you with different networking opportunities that we have going on. They will make you aware of different programs and different opportunities that we have for professional and personal development as a student here at Purdue. And ultimately, they are here to help foster that connection to the overall university students and program constituents. One very exciting event that is put together by your student success coaches will be a career fair that we have. It is specific to our online engineering students. So that is one really popular event that our students really do enjoy taking advantage of. All right, so now that we talked about how you will be supported through your time here, let's talk a little bit about the curriculum. This program is going to require 30 credits. Now, within those 30 credits, we do not follow a prescribed curriculum. That means that we do not give you a list of classes to take. We more so give you a general guide of what courses you will take under certain areas. That means that here you will be taking 18 credit hours that will be specific to your core courses. And you will be taking 12 credit hours that will be specific to your electives. With those core requirements on the right-hand side of the screen, you will see your focus areas. These are the focus areas that you have to select from to create those core requirements. Now, I will be sending a follow-up email with some links to what those courses are so that you can get an idea of what course offerings you have under each focus area. Now, with those electives are one of my personal favorite parts of our curriculum. With those electives, you can take courses within any course that we offer online through the College of Engineering. We currently offer over 200 different courses for you to select from, so you do have quite a variety. And those courses allow you to take an interdisciplinary approach to those electives. So depending on what your academic goals are or professional goals are, some courses from some colleges may work best to enhance your degree with microelectronics and semiconductors. I oftentimes see many students take classes under mechanical engineering, biomedical engineering, electrical and computer engineering, or software engineering to come up with those electives. But alternatively, if you really are enjoying the curriculum within microelectronics and semiconductors and you want to take more classes within your focus areas, you absolutely have that option as well. Now, since we are talking about credits, some of you may be transferring from a different institution. So if you are interested in transferring, I will let you know that we do accept transfer credit. However, in order for credit to be evaluated for transfer, we do ask that they meet the following conditions. That transfer credit must be, or the total number of credits that you want to transfer may not exceed more than 12 maximum credits. Those credits have to come from a graduate level, so you would not be able to transfer any credits that come from a bachelor's program. They do have to be courses at the master's level. Those courses cannot be used towards the completion of another degree. So if you have already earned another degree and you want to transfer some of those courses because those have already been used, we would not be able to transfer those over. Those courses do have to align with our curriculum, so they do have to be engineering or STEM related. We do ask that you have earned a grade of a B- or better. and that class cannot be more than 5 years old in order for it to transfer over. Now, one thing that I do want to highlight is that with this program, you will see in a few minutes, we do also offer a graduate certificate option. If you are interested in transferring credit, that transfer credit will only apply to the full master's program. It will not apply towards a graduate certificate. And that is the perfect segue to talk about the graduate certificate in microelectronics and semiconductors. The graduate certificate follows a very similar curriculum as far as the options that you have to select for your courses. But rather than being 30 credits, it's going to be a condensed 9-credit program. You are going to be required to take 3 credit hours in microelectronics and semiconductors within 3 different focus areas. So instead of 4 focus areas, you will have 3, which I'm circling here with my mouse. And you will also have 6 credit hours of electives. So again, if with those electives you want to continue taking more classes in these focus areas, you absolutely can. Otherwise, you would take those electives in any space that we offer within engineering. And the admission requirements for the graduate certificate and for the full master's program do differ slightly. So if you are interested in potentially pursuing this option, I do strongly recommend that you carefully go over admission requirements just to make sure that you're submitting everything that you need. This graduate certificate is best fit for students that may not want to commit to a full master's program. Students that may want to bridge that gap of knowledge that they have between their current bachelor's and where they are professionally, or students that may not be sure exactly what direction they want to head yet. This graduate certificate would be a great way to get a preview of what the full program could be like. All right, well, now that we talked about the curriculum, let's talk about the admissions process. On the screen, I am highlighting some general information that I will go over. But I will also be going over frequently asked questions that I oftentimes get about the admissions process. So in order for you to be admissible, we do ask that you come in with preferably an engineering bachelor's, although we may admit students that come in from a STEM-related background as well if it is compatible with the program. We do ask that students come in with a minimum GPA requirement of a 3.0. We do ask that students come in with a strong math background, especially if you are a non-engineering student. This is going to be very important. We do ask that you come in with Calculus 1, Calculus 2, and either linear algebra or differential equations. We do not offer conditional admissions, so you would not be able to take that in conjunction with the program. These are math courses that you would need to have completed at the time of application. I do recommend taking those classes through a junior college or a community college that is regionally accredited. You will also be submitting a statement of purpose, a personal history statement, 3 letters of recommendation, your resume, and your transcripts. Now let's talk a little bit more about some of those required documents for your application. The 2 writing statements that I mentioned you will need to submit are your academic statement of purpose as well as your personal history statement. These 2 documents tell us more about who you are, where you've been, where you're headed, why you are interested in this program. It helps us fill in the blanks between all other documents that you will be submitting. As you are writing these 2 documents, you will want to make sure that those documents are anywhere between 300 and 500 words, no more than 2 pages each. These 2 documents do have very similar subject matter. So as you are writing these, you want to make sure that these statements complement one another and not duplicate the information found on both documents. So that's going to be very important. If you have any questions about what you could write about, or you need any help with any writing prompts, we do have really helpful resources on our website, which I will make sure I follow up with and provide in that follow-up email to you. With your letters of recommendation, you will be required to submit 3 recommenders. Those recommenders must be all professional, all academic, or a mix of both. So as long as they are within the academic or professional recommendation umbrella, you are all set to go. You will not be asking family members or close friends to submit recommendation letters, as those would not be valid. Now, what happens is when you start your application, on the application itself, we will ask you to submit the names, the emails, and the relationship that you have to your recommenders. We will use that information to then reach out to them on your behalf with a safe link that we will send them via email. That is where they will submit their recommendation letters. You do not physically have to collect or submit anything on their end. We will go ahead and collect that through the safe link that we will be using with the email that you provide to us. I do highly recommend creating a cheat sheet with different bullet points about recent achievements that you have, different projects that you've recently worked on, certain milestones that you have hit in your career, any projects that you are proud of. Make sure that you include all of that in the bullet point cheat sheet to share with your recommenders. That's a really helpful way for you to remind them of recent achievements that you have that pertain to this program and could help them get started on a recommendation letter. And when it comes to your transcripts, we do ask that you submit transcripts for every institution that you have attended. Even if you did not graduate from that institution, we do still need for you to submit that transcript. If you attended an international university where English was not the first language, we do ask that you submit the original transcripts in the original language, as well as a copy of English translated copies. In some cases, we may also need a diploma. If that is the case, you will see that reflected on your application checklist, or you will be hearing from me to let you know that we do require a diploma. English proficiency scores are not required for this program. And to submit your application, you will also need to submit an application fee. This fee is non-refundable. It is currently $60 for domestic students and $75 for international students. Now, this fee is automatically waived if you are currently a U.S. veteran or an active military member. And we do have 3 different cycles that you can submit your application for. We have a fall term, a spring term, and a summer term. Our summer term is right around the corner with a deadline of May 1st, and then the next one would be fall. Now, your application is not considered complete until you have submitted all application documents in addition to your application and the application fee. So once we have everything together, it usually takes anywhere between 2 to 3 weeks for us to make admissions decisions. A question I oftentimes get about application deadlines is, do I have to wait for my recommenders to submit their recommendation letters in order for me to submit my application? And the answer is no. You can go ahead and submit your application, and as we get those recommendation letters in, they will automatically be routed to your application because your recommender is submitting those recommendation letters through that safe link that is unique to your particular application. We do perform a holistic application review process. So there is not one single part of your application that we hyperfixate on. We more so look at every document and every part of the application to make an admissions decision. And admission decisions are made on a rolling admissions basis. So the earlier you can get your application submitted, the earlier we can give you an admission decision. If you have already submitted your application and you have any questions about your application status, I'm happy to check on that for you. You can always contact me and I can let you know where your application is. Well, that does conclude the informational component of our program overview, but we do have a few questions that have came in. So let's start addressing those. 1 second. Someone asked, is there any way to pursue the same program on campus? Great question. Through the campus, you do not have a full master's program in microelectronics and semiconductors, but it is offered as a focus area under the residential electrical and computer engineering program, as well as the mechanical engineering program. But it is not offered as a full master's program residentially. Great question. And we have another question. Is it possible for international students to pursue this program on campus via a student visa? You can pursue this program residentially with or without, oh, sorry, not residentially. You can pursue this program online with or without a student visa because the program is fully online. So you are not required to submit any documentation about you having a visa. You can pursue this program from anywhere in the world. Um, but if you are interested specifically in the residential campus, I would recommend that you reach out to the residential program just because we are online, we do function slightly different, but I'm happy to follow up with you. If you want to email me, I'm happy to give you some contacts that can help you and best answer that question accurately. All right. And we got another question. Do students receive any one-on-one guidance from student advisor or success coaches? Do they help with job placement opportunities apart from career fairs? Any resume sharing with companies or helping students secure interviews? Great question. So, yes to all of the above. Your academic advisor, as well as your student success coaches, are assigned to you. So, you will be meeting with them regularly as a one-on-one type of appointment basis. So, you do have the opportunity to talk to them about potential careers that you want to follow, if you want to brainstorm on what can I do once I graduate, if you want to learn about what the industry is looking for. Again, your student success coaches do help you with professional development, and part of that is the career search process. We do have those career fairs, but we also have our career center. Our career center is a really great resource to take advantage of. They help you with create your resume, they help you review your cover letter, they help you with mock interviews. And we also have a database that is specific to our Purdue students so that you can see what job opportunities are available to you. You do, of course, still have to apply to those jobs, but we do give you the resource. I always tell students that the resources are there for you to use. Just make sure that you are doing your due diligence by using those resources. They are very, very powerful resources. I do highly recommend them. Something else that I do recommend is attending your one-on-one office hours with your professors. From my experience talking to current students in the program, many of those current students not only use those office hours to get clarification on assignments and talk about scores and grades, but they also use those office hours to talk with their professors about potential opportunities in the career field. They use those professors to talk about, hey, I'm noticing these trends and patterns. Is there anything that I should be alert for during the job search process? So I do highly recommend not only using your student success coaches, but also use your professors as they are also really great resources. Great question. All right, so we got a few more questions. We have a question. In case students are unable to provide letters of recommendation due to team supervision, contractual limitations, and issues with contacting and receiving replies from previous employers, are any exemptions possible? If so, what is the criteria and who should I contact? Great question. I do know that you are required to submit 3 letters of recommendation. That is a firm requirement that we have. But I am happy to help you brainstorm on who may be a good option for you to reach out to. If you want to email me, or actually, I will be emailing everyone that has registered for this. So you'll get my email tomorrow with a recording of this presentation as well as my contact. If you could reply individually to that email, and just let me know that you are the student that submitted that question, I'm happy to set a one-on-one appointment with you to help you brainstorm who you can potentially contact. All right, and then we got another great question. How similar is this program to the online MSECE? Is that program also asynchronous? Great question. So the online Master's of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering is going to be fully online, fully asynchronous, fully remote. It's also going to be 30 credits, also taught by the same professors that teach the program in person. The difference is that the online Masters of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering offers microelectronics and advanced semiconductors as a focus area, whereas this is going to be a full master's in the program. In addition to that, the online Masters of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering does offer 3 different sub-focus areas under the focus area of microelectronics and advanced semiconductors. Whereas This program offers four concentrations under microelectronics and semiconductors. So you only have one less sub-focus area slash focus area. But there is going to be a lot of overlap with the type of courses that you would be taking. A lot of the curriculum from this program takes classes from electrical and computer engineering, so there is a lot of overlap with the curriculum. So they are very similar with slight differences. In addition to that, as part of the curriculum in the MSSCE, it does require for you to take math courses, whereas this program does not have a math requirement as a graduation requirement once you are in the program. So that's another difference. Tuition will also be another difference between both programs. So they are similar, but they do have some differences. Great question. Okay. And we have another question. What if there are limiting circumstances regarding employers' recommendations due to the role being mostly client-facing rotational, and it has been over 6 years since you finished college, so maybe academic recommenders may not be as effective. In this case, what is the recommendation? Let me read that one more time. Great question. So, in cases where you are or haven't been a student for a while, we understand that who you would have selected as your recommender may no longer work there. Their email address may be different. So, it is going to be okay for you to select a recommender from a professional realm as your three recommenders. I would recommend reaching out to, if it's not a team lead, since you are in a rotational position, maybe reaching out to a team member that you directly worked with, maybe a program manager that you directly worked with, someone that was able to truly attest to your contributions that you had within that rotational role, from department to department. Those would be great people to reach out to. Okay, we have another question. What if you attended an international university in another country as a transfer student from an accredited US university for one semester, but are unable to contact that international university? However, the credits had transferred to your accredited US university before you graduated from your undergrad program. 1 second, let me read that one more time. So if I'm interpreting that question correctly, it sounds like you may not be able to get the transcripts from that international university. And you're asking how you would go about getting those transcripts since the credits transferred over. So the reason why we need transcripts from every university that you have attended is because in most often cases than not, when you transfer to the university that you graduated from, that credit does not always appear in your transcripts under the correct course name or course code. So we are unable to see what courses you have taken. In many cases, those credits do show up as a transfer credit, but not with the full description of what the course title is. So it is going to be important that you do submit that additional transcript for us to truly be able to see not only your cumulative GPA, but also the courses that you have taken. I would recommend if you are unable to directly get in contact with them, sometimes they do have some type of database where you can request online for them to send you a transcript. If you have a copy of your transcripts, you can also submit those for application review. We will make admission decisions using unofficial transcripts. So if you have a copy, you can get that submitted. However, once you are enrolled in the program, you do have up to 2 semesters to get those transcripts submitted. So if there may be some delay in getting those submitted, I would at least submit the unofficial ones that you may have a copy of. And then as soon as you get an admissions decision, start working on contacting them so that you have plenty of time so that by the time that your second semester comes around, that you already have those submitted. Great question. And we have another question. Is there any funding slash scholarship slash need-based aid that are available for international students looking to pursue this program? or any program tuition sponsorship possibilities that prior students have availed? Great question. Because we do already offer this program at a competitive rate, we do not currently offer any institutional scholarships for this program. We do highly recommend that domestic students apply for the FAFSA and see what they may qualify for. If you are not a domestic student and you are an international student, or if you're a domestic student as well, we do have payment plans. So those installment plans are not necessarily scholarships, but they do alleviate the immediate cost that you would be paying for your education. In addition to that, I do see many of our students that will take advantage of tuition reimbursement programs through their employer. So I do highly recommend meeting with human resources at your employment to see if that is a benefit that you can take advantage of. These were all very great questions. I really appreciate you all for sending your questions my way. As I mentioned, I will be following up with everyone that registered for this evening's webinar via email. So if you have any questions, please feel free to respond to that email. I am happy and I look forward to answering any questions that you have, explaining more about the program. I am available to help via email, phone call, or through a one-on-one Zoom appointment. So you will be hearing